Block 12 uses a technique called entrelac, which some people call entrelac. This is a technique that features blocks, in this case they're rectangles, that are going in opposite directions, which give an overall sort of woven stacked block effect. One of the things that you'll notice about this is that the stitches do go in opposite directions, and that you'll never see a continuous line of stitches worked all the way across. This piece is not worked in complete rows all the way back and forth, but rather worked in sections that are actually blocks and triangles that stack together to form this woven sort of look. To illustrate how the construction works, I've drawn some lines and written some numbers on my printed copy of my pattern. The piece begins by casting on 36 stitches, and then from there builds a series of 4 foundation base triangles. The base triangles are worked in this fashion. Then we work the next one with increases, increase, 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 increase. You'll notice that I never ever turn around and go back home. I'm turning the work prior to completing coming back home. So, and that's how this row of triangles is made. From there, we have a right-hand corner triangle. These guys are all right-hand corner triangles. This triangle is worked in this direction with a series on the right side of increases, knit front back, and SSK decreases on the left. The increases are to shape the triangle. The SSK will actually join this line to form sort of a seam. You're going to be knitting together, or SSKing together, I should say, a stitch from the right-hand corner triangle to a stitch from the base triangle. From there, you pick up and knit down this edge of the base triangle to form what the first 3 right side rectangles. Those are formed by picking up and knitting 9 stitches and then working back and forth along this direction, picking up and knitting, working back and forth along this direction, picking up and knitting, working back and forth along this direction. A couple of things you'll notice when you work these: the stitch count varies as you work the lacy leaf pattern. That's okay, they still come out as rectangles. Another thing that you'll notice is that there is a decrease at the end of this row. That's going to join together 1 stitch from the rectangle to 1 stitch from the base triangle, interlocking them together. So we left off here, right to here. Now we have the left-hand corner triangle. We have 4 of those in the whole piece. So we'll work this one, and that comes up in this direction, setting us up for the wrong side rectangles, which are right here, going the opposite direction from the right side rectangles. So for these, you're going to pick up and purl when you're on the wrong side, work back and forth. Again, you have that lacy leaf pattern, and then pick up and purl along this edge, working here. This is the edge which will be joined with the decrease. Pick up and purl, work back and forth, back and forth. Pick up and purl, work back and forth, work back and forth. And then again, a right-hand corner triangle this direction, dropping down for those right side rectangles in this direction. So you keep working in that fashion. I have everything numbered, so you can actually, if you like, pause your screen. You can even get a marker out and maybe draw on your own pattern or take some notes. But I have it written out with the numbers, the order that the different components are worked in this block. So 10, 11, 12, 13, quarter triangle. So you can follow along. If you're having trouble seeing, just watch my finger. I'll go all the way through. So we got wrong side rectangles, right hand corner triangle, right side rectangles, left hand corner triangle, until we get up to here. Then we have our end triangles working in this direction, all the way in this direction, all the way in this direction, till you finish. So I hope that this has helped you to understand the construction of this technique. If you're still having trouble, there are a lot of books out there. In fact, the designer of this square has written a book about this technique that you might be able to find at your local library or your local yarn store. Your local yarn store is also a great resource for finding experienced knitters to get some in-person help. This is definitely a very visual, hands-on technique, so that's something that you might need. It might be worth your time to investigate your options with your local yarn store. But I really hope that this helped, and I hope you enjoy the technique. I really enjoyed knitting the block.